Hey, my peoples, welcome to On the Mic with the M.
Auntie,
Today, what's today's discussion, T?
evolving in a marriage.
Oh my God, you want to go there?
Oh,
You want to go there?
yeah, where I don't want to say where the chains are put on you and
Oh,
you gotta, because some people think you just live in it, right? But you kind of grow in it. Imagine
yes.
being married under 21.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
oh, that's a different mindset.
yeah. I mean, but a lot of, not my generation, but the
Mm.
generations before, they got married early when
Oh
they were
yeah,
younger.
yeah, they did.
And we look at it like, oh, why would you want to do that? Or how could you do that?
Well, you also have to understand that was a different time and era too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people didn't live as long back then, so
Right.
you kind of got married early, had a gang of kids. You may have lost some along the way,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh,
As a survival.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the brood. And then, you continue from there. Because that's the way, technology, we didn't really have technology back then. So you had those huge people get married and have 10, 15 kids. There's no way in heck that's going to happen today. No way.
No.
No. It shouldn't happen.
Mm-mm.
Now, you may have a dude that may have 15 kids. You may have a woman who has 10, 15 kids. Probably not together, but they probably
But
have
yeah,
kids.
yeah, a combined situation.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But normally that's not something that's going to happen. But people people got the wrong idea. They keep thinking it's a rock.
Mm-hmm.
I get married, boom, that's where it's going to stay.
Yeah,
But it's really water.
it moves. It's very fluid. And the whole idea is to stay fluid within the relationship and with your partner.
Mm-hmm.
In order to not necessarily grow together, but
Mm-hmm.
to grow alongside of each other.
Alongside. I'm
Yeah.
glad you made that point because people keep thinking it's like once you get married, that person who's going to be for the rest of his life, she's going to be she's going to be for the rest of her life, which is a lot. Because if that's the case,
Yeah.
then you both got married and died the same day, so you're going to remain the same because you died.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Doesn't happen that
I mean,
way.
think about having babies in the relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gains weight, she gains weight,
Sure do.
right?
Sure do.
Can
Yes.
Are we allowed to change our weights in the relationship?
Happens all the
You
time.
have to.
Got
So
to.
if something as basic as your weight changing, think about all the other things that's going to change with you, and that should change throughout the course of the years.
Mm-hmm.
The person you are at 20 better not be the person you are at 25,
Oh God, no,
which should not be the person you are at 30,
no,
which absolutely is not going to be the person you are at 37,
heck
38,
no.
knocking on 40. You're going to grow and evolve and mature as an adult.
Yes.
And that's going to be reflective inside of the relationship. Now, what is your
Exactly.
mate going to say? Oh, no, I don't like which way you're going with this. Oh, you want to change your job with that? You don't want to do that anymore? How could you do the same job? If you want to change fields or you wanted to grow within your career, how could you stay stagnant there?
True.
You would need somebody, you would need your mate to support you as you changing, staying fluid
Yes.
in the workplace, within your career, in your career growth,
Yes.
right?
Yes, definitely. And
Mm-hmm.
people fail to realize to be married is a unit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's not like you have dreams, I have dreams, but we both can have our own dreams. But as a unit, we have to support each other.
Yes.
And that may mean you may have to give a little less, a little more to get that person, your partner, to their dreams. It may not be your time. You say, you know what? At this point, it probably easy to get to your dreams now than mine.
Right.
So, okay, let's back your dreams because as a unit, we're going to benefit from it. It's not like, well, I can't believe she gonna go after her master's degree, and I ain't got nothing but a GED. She gonna think she better than me.
If this is done with what you're showing is like a resentment,
Oh,
right?
yes.
It's not done with love. Don't do it,
Don't do it.
right?
True.
Because if you can't sacrifice your own happiness for just a moment in time,
Yes.
because you got a whole lifetime to figure this thing out.
Yes, you do.
A lot of times when you're younger, the degrees are the things that you're seeking.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of us will look at those 2 years or those 4 years where that sacrifice really is necessary or needed from
Yes.
one person and not necessarily the other,
Mm-hmm.
you'll look at them as being selfish or,
Wow.
not caring.
Yeah.
Or, you're just resentful as opposed to, hey, let's just go through this and give it all that we got.
Yes. Do the best for each other because as a
Hmm.
unit, we all grow.
We all will grow, and this will serve whatever is being sacrificed to work towards something. It's going to serve both of us for years to come, hopefully.
Yes. We're not
Right?
planning for right now. We're
No.
looking for the long run, the long haul, and that means you're gonna put in that work. You're gonna do the dirty work because we're building a house together. This is like building a house. You say, here's a piece of land. We done bought the piece of land, and now we're sitting there saying we want this type of house. So we have to do the blueprint. So we got to figure out what you want. Here's what I want. You have to compromise. You have to pick and choose some things. Some things I'm gonna let you have because
Yep.
that's what you want.
Yep. And you care more about that, and there's some things, I'm going to care a little bit more for it, and I'm going to hope that you let me have it. Right? So I'm going to make that little
Exactly.
sacrifice.
Exactly. And I don't understand why people are so confused that wants to get married. Now all of a sudden, you're not this and you're not that. Here's the thing. Once you have a conversation, a real conversation, before you even think about doing anything, getting married or having kids or any of that, sit down and say, what do you really want out of this relationship? What do you want? And be honest. Don't sit there and say, well, if I tell him this, maybe he may not like it. That's not the point. The point is, if you're going to sacrifice in this particular unit, then you have to put it all on the table. You got to put all your chips in the middle and say,
Yes.
I'm all in, and here's what I'm going to need from you in order for me to be happy and be a part of this unit from now to the end of time. Case in point, I'm going to have to do that. Put it all in and say, here's what I need. And along that, we say, okay, let's come with a plan, how we do this. But it amazes me, people do it all the time. They hold back on really telling you because I don't think, he don't really need to know all of this. He just need to know this.
Or she.
Or she.
She don't really need to know all of this. Mm-hmm. Or she don't really need to know all of that. Sometimes you hold back bits and pieces of your finances, where you really at, the debts that you have, as opposed to just being forthcoming with these things. Because had you had said something to the proper mate that you had attracted, they probably would have helped you devise a plan that'll help you conquer whatever it is that you're trying to hold back.
Exactly. And the other thing is stop bringing old baggage into your relationship. A lot of people forget baggage. What you should do, everything should be a lesson or a blessing. Every relationship, you can learn the good and the bad. You use that to make better decisions. You don't use that to every time you meet someone to say, oh, well, you remind me of such and such. So that dude is always with you. So that's why your bag is so heavy, because you got a lot of bodies in that bag that you keep pulling out whenever somebody who you think is the one who does what this other dude that you're carrying on you did to you. So he's going to act like him. Well, everybody's different.
I saw a quote on Instagram the other day, and it said, make sure when you buy a car, the previous owner doesn't still have the keys.
Oh.
I said,
Oh.
I ain't talking about a car.
No.
Right?
That's old.
And that's that, man. I'm talking about, bow, punch me right in the face. Because
Yes.
true that, right?
Yes.
True that, because that's exactly what the baggage that you're referencing is, right?
Yep.
You still allowing people to hold on to little pieces of you that control you just a little bit different.
Oh my God, control you. Can
Yeah,
you
they
imagine?
do.
The ghosts control you. Their ghosts control, because they're not in your life anymore.
They're
They've been
not.
gone. But they got spaces in your mind. They're in the different crevices of your brain. So someone who's you dated 30 years ago,
Yep.
still in your head.
Yep.
You're not even an afterthought to them. They're
Yep.
not even thinking about you. They're moving on with their life, but you still carrying it. You still carrying that hurt, that brokenness, that feeling. Why are you carrying it? What's the purpose? So the next person can suffer because you got hurt? Everybody gets hurt.
Yep. And you go into the relationships and you're not forthcoming that you're still carrying that.
So how can you stand in front of all the people, the Lord himself, and look at each other in the eye and be saying, yes, I'm going to do this, and especially in the back of your head, I really don't trust this cat because he done some things that make me really question him.
And you won't say it out loud.
Will not say it out loud. Won't say it at all, but it's in your head and it's constant. It's almost like another voice in your head just telling you, It's almost like if he was a player before, and he settled down with you, but you knew he was a player. In your head, you can't come put that he was a player to rest because you didn't marry the player. You married this guy that you met now, not the guy he was whenever before you met him. But if you have to drag his history along with who he is right now, not that the history he continues that history, is that's a part of his. Everybody got history. Everybody got body.
You can't be defined by where you
No.
were.
No, if that's the case,
Yeah.
then nobody would never get married because you start bringing back, oh, how many body counts you had? Oh, I got body counts.
It's like the idea of loving someone unconditionally, right?
Yep.
But you don't even know the conditions that exist here.
Wow.
Right? So how can you grow with someone when you don't actually even know what we're supposed to be growing through?
Ooh, that is so true. That is very true. I think people really need to reevaluate their vision of marriage is. I mean, if marriage is, this is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with, you have to be honest. Because if in your head you have to say, well, I don't like this about him, and you didn't tell him about it, then you're lying to yourself, and you're actually lying to your partner because he or she doesn't know. They're gonna base what you say. If you say I'm cool with you, I know your history and I'm good with that, and we're gonna move forward based on the unit we're gonna put together and go here, that's what you should do. But if you're gonna hold somebody's past against them, then don't marry them because that's gonna eventually break up your unit.
Yeah, that's going to eat away and fester. And, who wants to do that?
No.
Who wants to do it? You sitting there paying for something you done did years ago. I'm
Years.
not doing that.
And who wants to hear that all the time? Because I call you, you don't pick up the phone. I won't say, oh, well, maybe she's busy or something. If I go to, oh, he must be playing around. Because if he don't answer the phone, he got to be playing around. I'm going to check his phone when he come in. If I got to check your phone, I shouldn't have married you in the first place because I didn't just start when we got married. That started way before him, but you kept thinking that I'm going to change him when we get married. That's I
At
assume
this
women.
point, when you're looking through the phone, it's like I'm gonna put parameters on them to try to get them to change their own behavior now, right? Because you assume that you're doing something in darkness, right?
Yes.
And you assume that if you brought it to the light and they felt like they couldn't play in the darkness, that they would change the behavior, right? And normally, what ends up happening is that just isn't the case.
No, it isn't.
Because it doesn't matter where that person is at. What matters is where they want to be.
Where they want to be.
Yeah, like you where your heart is at.
Yes.
If you sitting down next to your mate, and you can be obedient, and you can just, I'm there with my mate and doing everything I'm supposed to do, but in my heart, I'm thinking about somebody else.
Oh.
And in my mind, I'm thinking about somebody else.
Oh.
What's the point?
Yeah. What is the point?
Yeah.
Because what are you doing
Because I can't be honest.
with the person you
Right.
married? The person that you told everybody we're gonna ride and die together. If you can't be honest with them, why even walk down the aisle and even do that? But it takes. If you start off, it's almost like the old days when I learned Cobalt. It was like garbage in, garbage out. So the end result is always going to be garbage because you put garbage in, so of course garbage is going to come out on your reports.
Absolutely.
Same thing with relationships. If you start off with putting garbage in and thinking that I don't have to tell him everything about me, that maybe along the way, I can go, and I'm going through some things because again, you may have somebody who's broken. We talk about being broken and shattered. And if you don't deal with that, you shouldn't get married to anybody in the first place. You need to handle yourself before you start bringing somebody else into a mess. Especially if you know I messed up and I need to get
I'm not ready to be forthcoming about who I am.
There you
And
go.
for a lot of women, that is the case.
Wow.
Just keeping it 100.
Wow.
A lot of women, when you come into a relationship, whether you lack the maturity, which a lot of times that's just that. You're just not mature enough you've not exercised communicating enough in order to have that conversation about who you really are. And
Yeah.
if you don't know who you really are, do you know what you really need?
Oh, no, you really don't.
Again, we speak into maturity, right? And so if
Yeah.
you're willing to walk down the aisle with someone who's, I'm sorry, youngin'. A lot of us
Yes.
get married when we're young, still,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
right?
Yes.
And if you're not willing to grow with someone, right,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that relationship is not going to go anywhere far
It
because
won't.
no one's allowed to grow. No one's allowed to move. No one's allowed to shift. You have to be allowed to shift, move, and grow in a relationship,
You
especially within a marriage.
got to.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be aware that it's not always going to be pretty.
No.
Because this thing called growth could be an ugly situation, especially if someone's growing. And again, you don't really know how you're going to grow. You don't know how the timeline is going to take to grow. You can't say, well, I'm growing 6 months. You don't know. And growth is consistent. It's constant. And a lot of people may not like about how you grow, but if you're in this together, you're going to support them in their growth.
Yes.
Like they're going to support you in your growth.
Yes.
And it's going to be ugly. It's going to be terrifying. What we always say, growth is uncomfortable.
It is.
And it will always be uncomfortable because you're changing from something you're comfortable in doing, and I know this person, to the unknown.
See, because what you thought is that you were supposed to engage in your growth with your spouse or with your mate, like directly. That's why I started off and said you're growing alongside of that person, right?
Yes.
If I'm inside of my workplace and my growth is occurring inside of the workplace, right? I'm getting beat up in the workplace.
All day
Right?
long. Yep.
I'm not getting beat up by my household. So when I go into the home and I speak about the growth that occurred inside of the workplace, my home is my sanctuary. That's my
Yes.
safe place,
Yes.
right? I take it all off and give it to him,
Yes.
baby, please.
Yes.
Or at least I should be able to.
Should
the
be able to.
person you come in and decompress with, right?
Yes.
And vice versa, right? Come
Yes.
home, take it all off.
Exactly.
Right? We decompress together, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're out in the world growing
Yes.
alongside of each other. But our household should be our safe space.
That is, your household is your hub. That is where you go to renew yourself, regenerate yourself, and get ready for the fight. Because it's going to be a fight. When you get out of the house, you supposed to go home. It's like in between rounds, like a boxing match.
The
You
peace
sit-
place.
Yes.
The place to find that peace at, right?
Yes. And if you can't get peace at home, then why in the hell do you even get married?
Woo, man.
Think about it. So
Man,
that means
yeah.
you're constantly in a state of war. You're constantly in a state
Yeah.
of fighting. You're constantly, there is no retrieval. There is no calmness. There is no rejuvenation. It's always tension. There's always fighting. There's always, so eventually that starts to wear on you. You can't constantly fight and don't get yourself back to a normal space, back to
You
center.
can't recharge.
Yes.
You have to
can't.
stop.
You have to.
You have to just be still in order to recharge. And if that household is not still that you're going into to recharge in, that growth is going to be stagnant.
Oh, now
Right.
you pour bleach on the flower. It's not water on the flower. It's bleach. And you're wondering why. I wonder why my flower's not dry or not growing because you don't put bleach in it.
Yeah, and so what we see normally in situations where it's like a stagnated marriage, right? You would see the couple that's struggling with finances, who perhaps maybe weren't struggling before.
Yes.
Maybe money didn't necessarily change, but nobody's paying attention to the finances because you guys are just going, because now you're blindsided by the chaos inside the household,
Yep.
right? Or the goals that you wanted to attain, they've kind of just gone to the wayside because, you're just blindsided now. For a lot of people, it might be just anger, or it might be your energy level is just depleted.
Exactly.
And so you would see a lot of the things that perhaps you should have attained not being attained now.
Yep.
And so when you see married couples and you compare them to other couples and you're like, well, we ain't got that, or, dang, we still ain't get to that. It's
Yep.
probably because over the course of that growth, right, at
Mm-hmm.
some point, we kind of lost our way, right?
That is very, very true. And that's why communication is the key
Mm-hmm.
to success. Nobody knows what's on your mind. Nobody's a
Yes.
mind reader. Nobody can look at the crystal ball and say, I wonder what T's thinking today. Why is she so
Yes.
upset? You have to have a conversation of what's going on. And you got to be honest enough to say, I really care about why I'm asking that question.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a problem and we need to solve this problem.
Yes,
So
yeah.
let's figure it out. And it may be something I don't want to hear, but I need to hear it. Because in order for us to get to the next level, I may have to do something different. I may have thought I was doing great.
Yep.
But then you're like, no, but you drink a lot and you spend a lot of money on liquor. You spend a lot of money on on lottery tickets, and you spend a lot of money on this. To me, I'm thinking, well, all I'm doing is $10 here and there. But then you start thinking, wait a minute, if I do $10 a day, at 7 days a week, that's $70. That's a lot of money. So that's stopping us from doing a lot of things over a year period. That could be paying off a car payment. That could be working on paying off old bills that you had. That you have some old bills. We're trying to buy a house,
Yep.
and we know that you have some old stuff on your stuff way before we met, but it's still on your credit. I'm gonna have to say, you know what? In order for us to get this house together, then I'm gonna have to help you get your stuff straight. That's our plan. I'm gonna cut back on drinking. I'm gonna cut back on playing lottery because I want to make sure that we get your stuff straight so we can go to the house that we're trying to build, which house we're trying to get. So that means you have to sacrifice. You have
You
to
do.
say, you guys, well, that's her bill. I don't know what you're gonna do because that's before me. But you're a unit now. You're a team. So we're in this together. Don't bring in all the other stuff from before. I don't be in a house with 20 different people because all this has been going on and see these people.
Inside of your head, and you ain't mentioned that old boy who you met back in high school. You still care about, think about, and you visit him once a year, type of thing.
Oh.
I mean,
God dang.
just like straight up.
Dang.
What do you need in life? And be
Yep.
honest about it, right?
Yeah.
And women, maybe, we definitely have a problem with honesty in that arena.
Yeah.
Especially the younger woman, which is the one that, the man loves to attract, right? And so that's why you have so many issues as they talk about, the woman in the dating realm.
Yes.
Well, that's fine for dating, right?
Yeah.
But if you're going to walk into a marriage with someone, that's something that you definitely should have overcome while dating,
Yes.
because there's a difference.
A huge difference. And I guess the question is, what is your view when you start to look at somebody? If you're getting that serious, what's your view of them? I mean, is it are you looking at them for who they are? Or are you looking at it for their potential? And I'm asking for a woman's perspective. When you see somebody that you're dating and you see who they currently are, are you looking at them for who they currently are and what they can be? Or are you just looking at just to fit them in? I see where I want them to be, and by damn it, I'm going to get them to where I need them to be in spite of them.
No, I think it's what they can be, right? And then that feeds into the last part, right? It's sort of all of them. It's sort of all of them, straight up. Because technically, when you see a man, like, you see him at his greatest, like, and then you're like, you see him from across the room, like, oh nah, look at King. You don't know if he on his, ish, but you from across the room, you done fantasize him up, like, yes, he's that man.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
In your mind, you already see a man and you see the type of man that he technically should be. And then you get to know him and then you say, okay, is this really who he is? And does he have potential to get to where he's going? Now, the problem with the potential thing is potential at 35 versus 21.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, you got potential at 21.
Yes.
You should have arrived by
35.
yes.
Or at
At
least
least
process.
the process.
Yes, yeah.
Starting,
Yes.
like showing some concrete things
Yes.
that you've on a proper journey to get to where you're trying to go to.
You build the foundation.
Yeah, you're not
and
talking
now-
about you want to get a barber shop or you want to be a barber at 35 and you don't even cut hair.
Oh. Oh.
I've heard stories like this.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You don't even have an album.
What
So
album
you
you gonna
don't have no music on the internet at 45.
Nothing.
Like, not a poem.
Not a poem, not
Yeah,
nothing.
but yeah. The
Oh my
journey.
God. Yeah, but that
You got to start when you reference potential, the potential that you possess. It's valued different depending on the age group that you're in.
exactly, because at 21, everybody's just starting.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
nobody right now, you don't even know who you are yet. You basically you're just trying to. Okay, I just got my mama house. If that's the case, or I'm just finishing up college.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Because I don't. What do you mean you just getting out of your mama's house? No, you should still have some things in order at 21 to get out of your mother's house, right?
Yes, you
Like,
should. You should have a plan.
Yeah.
But or if you're planning to fail, because you have no plan, that means
Easy.
you just gonna wing it.
Easy.
Which means why would you want to get a guy who's 21, 22 who's winging
Who's
it?
winging it? Yeah.
So then
That
and then you
doesn't-
expect him to be better?
Yeah.
No, that's not gonna
not in
happen.
line with excellence. What are y'all
No.
about to do together? Fail
Nothing.
and be
You're
miserable.
gonna fail miserably,
then
and
be
you're gonna
mad,
party because for me as a guy, I would say if I'm thinking about you as that point as a man, I was like, you know what, I need to get myself right. I can't be out here doing what I'm doing because again, I know it's gonna mess you up because the one thing you want to do to a woman is to break her trust because you break her trust, it's gonna take forever. I heard someone said you can lose trust by gallons, but gain it back by drops. Because
That's true.
once it's on the floor, now it's like, it's going to take a while to trust you. And now, as a man, you have to say, damn, I did this. Take ownership. I did this. So am I
But
willing?
see, a man can regain the trust back. A woman lose a man's trust, that's a wrap.
Oh
Go to
yeah,
wrap
yeah,
that
yeah,
show up. We're
yeah.
done.
Because first of all,
We're
he's
done.
always going to think about. Remember that movie, The Brothers? Was that the movie when they got married? And he was at I forgot it was somehow was getting married, and he was saying his vows to his soon-to-be wife, and his mind he kept flipping back. Okay.
Best man, yes.
So
yes,
he
thank
kept,
you.
thank you, man. Because he kept saying, he was saying it to her, and he always imagined his girl having sex with this boy.
Yeah.
And he said, to me, I love you unconditionally. But in his mind,
Yeah.
she's still banging his boy.
Yeah.
It was
And
hard
it's-
for him to get over that.
It's a man thing. Like
Yes.
a woman, like, no, I don't know what it is. You're going to get over it.
We talked about it, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Men don't trust easy.
No.
We trust way less than women, naturally. So if we trust you as a man with any information, regardless of gender, and then we find that it comes back out, or we find out that, like, you turning on us in an argument or whatever, I don't fuck with you at all.
Yeah.
That's just it.
So that puts the value of a woman's loyalty at like the highest. You know, one of the highest things to possess is your loyalty at that point. Then when you say, what do you bring to the table? My loyalty. Absolutely. I bring my loyalty.
And let me tell you, as you know, being in the service at one point, there's a fine line between soldier and mercenary. Because the soldier is loyal without fault. Until you you do something to that soldier where they say, oh, you know what? My loyalty almost cost me my life. So now I'm a mercenary because I'm doing it for me. It's not you. So at that point, that mind has changed, and he's going to move differently because you have broken him. Yeah, because you basically broke his blind loyalty in you. And that's the case. He's like, hey, woman, girl, I trust you with everything.
Think about this damn Destiny Child song, Soldier. I need a soldier, someone who's gonna stand up for me.
Yeah.
Like, they chose Soldier for a reason.
Yes.
You want somebody who's there for you unconditionally. Everybody wants a soldier in their life. At man or woman, you want somebody who will stand by you regardless. That's why if you see a woman and she says, you know, my biggest thing is like my man, like regardless of if I'm right or wrong, he has my back.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna undermine you outside. I might not agree with you in this moment, but you're my woman. So in this moment, we are fighting the same fight.
Yes.
Until we leave, and in which case somebody say, "What the heck did you just drag me into?" But I'm not gonna have that fight in that exact moment.
In the midst of mixed company, Nah, it's me and you always, all day.
Always.
Okay.
Tight.
Yeah.
Tight.
Now, and if mixed company occurs and we not on the same page, oh, there's a problem.
A huge problem.
There's a problem.
Because you what? Wait
That's
a
a
minute.
major violation.
We are bringing family business, unit business from a stranger?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you done really
Yeah.
went sideways on me.
Yeah.
And I want to know where your head at.
That's not present.
See,
Emotional mind.
oh my
literally.
God! See that now we're gonna have an issue because now I don't know where it went wrong, but now we gotta get back in step because we can't have this because that's telling me there's a crack in our foundation and we need to deal with it because obviously something's been going through your head for a lot that you didn't want to talk to me about, and then something simple. Again, huge arguments don't happen over big things. It happens over you didn't put the cap on the ketchup. What the hell? You don't put it on either. And all of a sudden you went from a cap. Now you're having a full blown argument. Everything that you don't like about her, everything she don't like about you, and you ask yourself, I didn't realize she had all this hostility towards me. And then you're saying, I didn't realize he had all that hostility towards me. How the hell did we get here? Which means along the way you miss communicating. You stop communicating because you start assuming.
Yeah.
Don't ever assume because if you start
Or you
seeing
just
things
let
change,
stuff go.
You let stuff go. You keep sweeping on the rug, and after a while, you got a rug with a big hump over it, and you're like, "What the hell is that?" All the stuff we've been sweeping under the rug.
Yeah. And for what?
Yeah, for what?
It's our stuff.
And we see it now. Before you
Like,
couldn't
why
see
can't-
it.
Yeah, but just let's deal with our stuff. Clean your house. And I'm not
Clean
telling
your
you
house.
to clean your house every day. You know, you can do spring cleaning if you want. You can do big cleaning twice a year and just vacuum the regular carpet daily. I mean, you can clean your house however you want to. But
But-
when company come by, it better not be a big lump underneath the rug.
Hey, you know what? A lot of people walk by those rugs and see that hill getting larger and larger, and he just keeps saying, "Oh, you know, I don't see it," because then you don't want to deal with it.
You don't want to deal with it, but your mother said something to you about it.
Oh,
Your dad
yes.
said something to y'all about it.
Oh, yes.
You know, our dads, did they say something to both of you?
Oh, yeah, both of y'all.
Uh-huh.
And then you
Equally
still
the
don't
same.
deal with it.
And you still don't want to deal with it.
But then the issue is that you end up in a relationship and you have kids. And the worst part about it is if you don't figure it out, then your kids are the ones who walk past that rug every day. Not your mother, not your father, not your auntie, your cousin, none of that. Your kids.
about it.
Your kids.
You don't want to
Yeah.
deal with that.
No, no.
Today is scared because they see all the advice on Instagram and on TikTok.
Yep,
So
exactly.
the kids will be sending you TikToks.
Talk about boop. You probably didn't read that. You looking at, oh, well, we don't communicate because that's what kids of today can do now. They can
Yep.
put stuff on, send stuff like that to you
Yep.
because to them they don't want to feel like getting in the middle. Is because y'all adults. Y'all should be able to figure this out. We're just kids.
And if you notice the programming that's going on YouTube and Instagram and, you know, those little, I don't know what public service announcement ads, I don't know what they are. They create a whole scenario, right?
Yep.
Little Tommy didn't have nice shoes, and so somebody went out and bought little Tommy good. They'll create a whole scenario so kids can get an understanding of exactly what's going on, and they'll talk about relationships, households, you know, things going on in schools. They'll see all types of stuff. So for them to be able to kind of see what's going on in their household and get an understanding, now they got it. It's right there. They just swipe up and swipe down.
But where are they getting that information from?
The YouTube.
So where do YouTube get the information from?
Like, I don't know. Somebody's creating this content.
Exactly. So if you have a broken person giving you content on how you should do things,
And the content it can go any which way. That is the other thing to it, right? The content can be decent. It can advise them properly. It can advise them poorly.
yes.
It can go all different ways, but the point is that they see it in your household and then they see something like it. And then they create their own idea of what's going on and what needs to happen.
Exactly. And you are now influencing that little mind because, again, that little mind's a sponge. It sucks up everything, good, bad, and different.
That's going
And
on.
then the kid gets older, and then you're like, where you learn that from? You. And you know parents hate that because you always want to paint this picture like it's not as bad as it's not as bad as y'all think it is. Oh, the fuck it is. It's bad, real bad, because I'm me because of you. I learned from you.
Yeah.
And now, when I tell you that, now you want to change the history. Like, you want to rewrite the book. Oh, no, what I was trying to do as a kid, I do not know what you were trying to do, but here's how it came across to me.
This is
You
what I got from
cannot
it.
discount my feeling as a child, saying that, well, you shouldn't feel this way. But I do. And this is how you made me feel. Now, you should learn. Now, hopefully by that time, you will change something so the kid don't come and just blast you, just tell you what kind of lousy parent you were. You as a parent should say, you know, this ain't healthy.
Yeah.
This is not healthy for us. If it ain't healthy for us, you know it ain't healthy for the kid, because the kid is feeding, he's part of the unit. So he's eating the same garbage that we're eating. So you're now breaking a kid. You're now messing this poor kid's mind up. So when he gets out there, he's looking for love or looking for someone to share his life with. He's going to take it based on what he saw with us and YouTube. You don't know what the heck's on YouTube.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Mixing it all in together into a slurry of nonsense.
Exactly.
Something that we don't even know. And then we see it today where the kids have weird
Yes.
socialization and weird dating interactions.
Yeah,
It's weird.
exactly. And you wonder where they get it from. They get it from all kinds of sources now. And, you know, like I said, when people get married first of all, you got to get married for the right reason. And what I mean when I say that is not based on looks. It's not based on, you know, the superficial things. You got to have intangibles, because again, you have to have somebody that, you know, y'all may have two pennies rubbed together, but you say, you know what, we're gonna go stay at a hotel and we're gonna spend time together. We're gonna look over the beach. You may not be in the penthouse, but we're gonna take our little bit of money and we're gonna sit here on the beach and huddle up and all that and enjoy each other.
Yeah, because sometimes you have to understand that you have to be getting married for the sake of, like, no, I want to be in a marriage,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Like, I know I want to exist in this relationship, in this type of relationship.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't matter how fine that man is, how much money he got, how faithful he claim he gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't want to coexist in the marriage,
What's the purpose?
he's not your husband.
No, he's not. And let me tell you, if I have to look at somebody's phone to see where they've been or do all that, and I put a tracker on their car, what the hell you even get married for in the first place? Now, especially if y'all he never gave you a reason to play around, or he never played around on you. And all of a sudden now you're like putting trackers on him and putting stuff on his phone and checking his searches and stuff.
But does it matter if they played around on you or not? At what point do you understand that you're going beyond the boundaries of something that's healthy? And, like, what is that going to lead you to?
Misery.
Misery, right? Because
Yes.
you can't change someone's behavior by trying to control something that, you know what I'm saying? You can't
No.
control their cell phone. You
No.
can't control, like, the GPS and where they go with their car. Like, because I know where you at, you know, you won't go there anymore now.
Yeah. What
Really?
the hell? Come on now.
Really?
So what he'll do?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick a new spot. Come
Or-
pick me up. Let me leave my car here because the Joker got GPS tracker on. It's like you're never getting to the root cause of the situation,
Nope.
right? And then you probably are breeding disrespect
Oh, you definitely are.
because that
Oh.
other person would absolutely feel violated or disrespected by you.
Yes.
That, like, hey, especially if they're not doing anything.
Oh.
Can you imagine if you're
Oh.
like snooping through my phone, or, you know, you're tracking me and you just kind of checking up on me all the time, and I just find out randomly one day?
Well, yeah. Well, as I'm going through your phone and you sleep, I use your thumb to open up your phone so I can look and see what's going on.
Oh no, you get a random notification and I'm walking past your phone and it's you tracking me. Like, can you imagine?
It's even more simple. She says to you, I thought you were supposed to go to the gym after work today. Because maybe you changed your mind. You didn't feel like it. Like, I was going to the gym. I got tired. I said, no, I'm going to go get something to eat and I'm going to go home.
Yeah, but how you know?
But how'd you know I didn't go to the gym?
Oh.
And I never even brought it up.
Yeah. So it's like,
Oh.
could you imagine? So it's a violation whether you're doing something or not.
It really is.
And
it truly
just
is.
yeah, it speaks to our ability and our willingness to communicate and then do something with what we are talking about.
Yes, yes, and again, if you got to do that, you got to really, really evaluate where you are, not just first of all where your relationship is, and then where you are.
Yeah.
Because if this person gave you no hint of ever playing around on you, and all of a sudden you're gonna start doing that, that tells me that baggage, those many bodies in your bag, you
It's
pull out a
still
body
there.
and put them outside and say, oh.
Yes.
Such and such, he didn't do that at first, but he started to. But the difference is that was a boyfriend. This is your husband. So there should be a different criteria for your boyfriend than your husband. Because if I ever have to do that to my wife, it's more than a rap. Because we're going to have to, here's how I'm feeling, and here's what you did. She was like, I don't know why you feel that because blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. What's wrong with me? What did I see that made me think that way? And then I got to be honest, like, okay, is that something that I saw? Or maybe I'm living foul. Maybe I'm out there doing some stuff, and now I'm seeing her. She kind of doing what I'm doing.
Yep.
So maybe she doing what I'm doing.
Get that paranoia.
Kicks in.
Yes, it
Because
does.
now you're like, and again, what did I say? Or probably a few podcasts ago, you're my Louis the 13th. So my Louis the 13th better only have my DNA on it. My prints better be on that
Yep.
DNA. Now, if somebody else is on there, we're gonna have a problem. If someone sampled that, we're gonna have a problem. Now, no word that I have another Louis the 13th that I've been sipping on this side that you don't know nothing about. Get that.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're mine.
Yep.
But now, wait a minute, I saw another print. What could she be doing? So this is why you have to be clear, very clear, before you walk down the aisle, before you spend thousands and thousands of dollars, that you have issue. If you have an issue with that person, any issue, you need to voice it.
And then throughout the relationship.
Yes.
So let's be clear beforehand, before we get to the altar. But let's continue a clear conversation throughout the journey.
People don't understand it. People think once you get married, it's a rock. Boom. It's just the way it's going to be from now until the day you die. No, the rock is what they're going to put on your grave when it's all said and done. Along the way, it's water. Like we said in the beginning, it's water. It flows. It changes. You get older. Like I said, the 21-year-old you is not the 26-year-old you. The 26-year-old is not the 40-year-old you. The 40-year-old you won't be the 50-year-old you.
Yep.
A whole lot of things going to happen between those years, and those are all adjustments that we all have to adjust to because we're not the same. We're never going to be the same. There's no way you're going to be the same. It's like people dying. People always say you'll get over someone dying, time heals all wounds. That's an untruth. That's a lie. What happens is you adjust because you adjust your life accordingly so you can continue to survive and to continue to grow and continue to make decisions based on your new situation. All our situations will change because as we keep moving, 10 years from now, a lot of people we know may not be here.
Yep.
So we're going to adjust to that. You're going to deal with the hurt. You're going to keep adjusting. Same thing with marriage. Certain things are going to happen. You got to adjust to it accordingly, and you got to do what you got to do. And you have to look at it and say, okay. And you're going to be uncomfortable because it's new to you. Again, all these changes are new to you, to the person, and to you. So if you say we're a unit, we're going to go through all these changes together. I'm going to walk that. I walk that aisle. We're going to walk hand in hand. We're going to deal with each other side by side. Not somebody behind me or in front of me. We're walking side by side. I hear it all the time. Well, she's behind me. No. You're a team. You're a unit.
Yes,
You're working
yes.
together.
Yeah.
So
Supposed to
if
have
you-
each other's back.
Yes. If she hurt, you hurt. Why we hurt?
Yeah.
And then you have to have that discussion. But if you can't do that, if you don't trust your mate, if for any reason you don't trust your mate, you ask yourself the question, did something change once you got married, or was that in your mind before you got married? And you thought along the way it's going to change?
And even if something did change along the way, what you gonna do about it now? Are you gonna be silent about it? Things will change. They must change. What you gonna do about it? Are
What
you
are you
gonna open up your mouth and say, "Hey, I've noticed something's different. Hey, this doesn't, sing to me the way it used to. Hey, you used to go out all the time and you still go out now, and I kind of thought you would slow down over the years, and you kind of haven't. Can we talk about that? Hey, you're working too much. I mean, when do you plan on cutting back? Talk about that.
You have to, because your plans may be one thing, and you may have to work a little harder to get there. But if you see working harder or longer more than you expected.
Yeah.
Because plans change.
Plans
so
do change.
You have to say, hey, I see you busting your butt. Listen, why don't we, let's not go for the $1 million house. Let's go for the $500,000 house.
Yeah.
And we'll be happy with $500,000 because we're in it together. You know, we'll be able to, you enjoy it. Because it makes no sense for you to work yourself to death. We get the house, you die, boom. Now I'm in a big $1 million house.
Reevaluate. Reevaluate yourself. Where you going?
Yes.
That's what the communication is going to always have you do, right?
Yes.
Say, hey, we made a plan. We're trying to get to here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like how it's going. It's not really serving us. Let's maybe try to get there to kind of free up some of you and
Yes.
see if we'll be happy like that.
Yes.
You just got to have the conversation.
But
If you just sitting back watching the man run
I
himself
feel like
ragged,
people have those conversations. I just don't think you have them, in my opinion, you have them correctly.
It's how you communicate.
It's how you say that. If you're saying, man, my husband's working a lot, right? I feel like a lot of women will frame it like this. Husband, why are you working so much? You're never home, you never do this, you're never here for this. Like, if you approach that immediate conversation and you're like, here's all the things that you're doing wrong, most people are gonna kind of tune you out. Because you're already coming at me with the accusations and whether or not they're negative, it just could be just you are feeling hurt. Whereas if you present the same conversation, say, husband, I know you've been working hard to provide for us, but I'm missing you being at home. I'm missing the time that we spend together. I can immediately see, oh, like you're missing who I am as a person. Like a lot of people go with like the negative of how you feel about it instead of like, here's why in like a positive but negative sense. And you're acknowledging the fact that I know at least the root cause of why you're working hard.
right?
Or I know the root cause of why you go out and hang out. Like you hang out because you go to work all the time. Like sometimes you have to show a little bit of empathy. Like I understand how you got here. Or I understand how you ended up possibly arriving at this spot. But let me show you how it's affecting me or affecting the kids or affecting us as a unit. Whether it's something as big as, oh, I feel like, you never hear from me. Or even as something small, it's like, I just miss like our Saturday mornings when we used to get up and go to breakfast.
Well, and that's also why I went back to saying you have to get back to that drawing board and redefine what you're doing it for.
Yeah.
Because, like, take the example of going to work, right? You're working for the something, right?
Yes.
The something could be just basically, the mortgage that we already have, right? We can't come back to the drawing board and be like, babe, you're working too much.
You need a roof over your
The
head.
bill still exists. So what can
Exactly.
I do? So if we don't also have that conversation of, empathizing with the situation, but then also how do we fix it, right? Because don't
Yes.
just talk to somebody about something that can't be fixed. Like, ma'am, that's my 40-hour shift. Like, there's not, or I bought this home based off of some overtime I put in. I must put in that overtime.
That's
what
what
do you
I have
mean?
to do. Exactly.
Yeah, so
I got
instead
to.
of you coming then and saying, hey, I'm missing you, you make quality time of the time that you guys have together. But
Yeah.
absolutely, you have to empathize. You have to come to communicate what you want and come to the table to get what you actually want from it.
Exactly. You
Right?
just can't be just complaining because you're right. As a man, if I know I'm out there busting my ass to do what I need to do, and you tell me you working too hard, I don't know why you working too hard, and blah, blah, and I'm thinking you ain't doing but so much. Ain't like you said, okay, but I want to pick up a part-time job. We're gonna discuss it. Like it's gonna affect the kids. It's gonna affect some things. How can we alleviate some of this stress on you? Then okay, let's have that conversation and do what we need to do. But you can't tell me, you're working too hard, but you're not gonna do any differently to make my job easier.
Yep.
Well, why are we having this
What we
conversation?
talking about?
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
Because if I do cut back, now something's gonna suffer.
Light
Because
bill ain't get paid in full.
cable ain't getting paid.
Yeah, you couldn't go out shopping
Nope.
the way you wanted to.
Gas is
I
high.
had to cut off my little cable extra add-on. No, everybody's uncomfortable. You didn't come up with a solution. You just uncomfortable.
Yes.
And again, that uncomfortable thing could possibly just be the growth.
Is the growth. And again, you have to understand. And the thing is, when you're young, when you get married and you have a relationship young or get married young, there's just some things you're just going to learn along the way.
I think
now,
the young part of the marriage is the part of the marriage where all the pressure gets put on.
all of the pressure
Right.
because you really don't know. You stand there and you sing, oh my God, for the rest of my life. You hope.
Well, more than that, like the pressures of life, right?
Oh, yeah.
Your job training, right?
Yep.
Or your cross training to get to another job, or your up level training, right? Trying to get another skill so you can move up the ladder.
Yes.
Right. So you're not only working your 40 hours, but then you're trying to get in couple hours of an extra class so you can, do better.
Yes.
So that's a strain on the relationship, right? The wife is probably doing the same thing. Today's woman is probably in the career world doing the same exact thing. Another strain, more pressure on the relationship, right? It's not just me and you now, it's me, you, and the world now, right? And now we have to figure out us alongside of figuring out ourselves, right? And
Constantly.
constantly. And then you add in cars,
Yes.
car insurance, bills, because then you start adding on the bills, right?
Yes.
The bills that you've never really been familiar with, the fees that you've never really seen before. So now you're getting familiar with tickets and,
Yes.
MVA fees, car insurance. You're starting to adult now, right? And it's
Yes.
starting to get real. And these are the pressures.
Yes.
Then you throw a kid or two in the spot,
Oh,
right?
Yes.
Now you got to figure out drop-offs, pickups, pay the bills, keep the lights on, go to work, move up the ladder, look like something, get your nails done, take care of your man, massage his head. God damn, it's got to scratch my head just thinking about all the stuff to go down when the pressure is on,
That's true.
right?
Yep.
Because in the beginning part of the relationships, the strain is present.
Yes.
And
it is.
it's like you have to get over that hump also, right?
Mm-hmm.
In order to get to a little bit of a coast,
Yes.
right? Where
Yes.
the kids are like out adulting and they're fighting the world and you can just kind of watch them fight and watch a minute and they ain't want to listen to you. You're going to sit on your, you're going to fall on your ass because you didn't want to listen to me, but that's you fault because I already failed.
Yes.
I already did mine.
Many times.
Right? Many a times over. And, but you realize that as you grow older, the pressures, they start to lift just a little bit, right?
Yep.
Even just think about having a kid who's in daycare versus having no children in daycare.
Oh,
Right?
God. That cost associated with that nowadays.
Yeah, or the fact that they can all wipe their own asses now, right?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yep.
gotta change. Nobody's not like that is a total different pressure that's now relieved off of the household. Some
Very
people
true.
don't even realize it, right? That you don't have a baby crying in your background. You don't have to worry about diapers and wipes and packing that diaper bag and all these excessive
It
onesies.
goes along with it. Yeah.
I remember shouting out them damn onesies, getting on my trigger finger all messed up, whatnot for them onesies having to be shouted out. Yeah, that's a whole nother pressure. I don't do laundry the same way I have to do baby laundry.
No.
So it's the pressures and the strains that can
Yes.
get put on the relationship.
That is
They
so true.
change as the relationship evolves.
Yes, and along the way, you also have to communicate because what happens is the pressures are going to be there, but if along the way these things are happening, but in your head you have different thoughts, like I didn't realize it's going to be this hard, but you keep it to yourself, and then you start looking at the other person. Well, they should be doing this, or they should be doing that, but you never voice it.
You don't say anything. So you done did the pickup and the drop off for the babies and cooked the dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And mowed the lawn and took out the trash. And the man sitting there playing his video game. And he thinking, damn, this life is sweet. She
Yep.
did that? She even mowed the lawn? Wow. And he's just chilling. And then you stressed, depressed, got bags under your eyes and you're looking crazy and you balled up in the corner crying. And he like, what's wrong? And then you tell him, he's like, well, damn. Why was you doing all that? Why didn't you say nothing? And he's dumbfounded.
Yeah, because if it's getting done, we're not going to say anything. Like, oh, it's getting done. Now, if you say, listen, I need you to do blah, blah, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
I got you. I did it. It's
Simple
done.
as that. Simple as that.
You never communicated. You just took on the whole world
Yep.
And because you can do it, you decided to do it.
And,
And
when
got-
and being Superwoman, I haven't seen anyone's tombstone that said, "Here lies Superwoman. She did everything, and she's now here." Mm-hmm. No, you'll never get that on your tombstone.
She did that.
She
No.
did all that, but she's still here dead
Yeah.
because she did everything.
She did too much.
So again, you have to understand you're all going to grow differently. We're all going to be able to, and we all got our strengths and weaknesses. If you know your husband ain't good with money,
Handle the
from the
finances.
beginning,
Yeah.
you need to handle them.
Yeah.
Put your money in the bank, and that's the other thing when it comes to finances. You got to be clear on that because a lot of people I've heard over the years, like she has her account, I have my account, and then we have our account. Whatever works for your home works for your home. If that means you put everything in one account, then everything goes in the account, or you put an account where you handle all the major bills and you have your little side money, and he has his little side money, it's cool. But if you know he's a kind of guy, if he had extra money in his hand, he's gonna burn on something stupid, make sure he put more in that joint account than he has in his pocket. Because now since you're handling money, I know it's gonna stay in here. Mm-hmm. I can move that to savings. I can move that somewhere else. So that's rainy day money.
Yeah.
In case something happens, I know this. So, oh, baby, damn, the engine went up. And you don't have insurance.
Normally,
you don't have warranty.
When you talk to people, they'll tell you their flaws. Right?
Yeah, they do.
Just kind of, yeah, like me. I'll tell you straight up, like, no, I'm generally late for stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So normally, my mate would absolutely lie to me to my face to make sure that we're on time and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, it's like,
Well,
I
I'm gonna
tell
be
her
mad.
ass at 3, but we gotta be there. I'll tell her at 2.
Yeah, like let's just keep it real. There's some things that you kind of soft things that you build inside the relationship to make sure you guys both thriving. Because if you're a stickler for time, then my tardiness, oh man, you're gonna be acting like Daffy Duck.
Yes.
Man, like and I'll be sitting there like, what's wrong? Coming through like Daisy Duck or regular, switching like, what's wrong?
You're like, God damn, you late again? What do you mean? You're late?
Is it
You're always
Daffy or
late.
Donald Duck?
Donald
Yeah,
Duck.
you'll be acting like Donald Duck, quacking your little soft man, and here I am switching, acting like what's wrong?
And but he knows.
And he knows.
So, okay, I have to adjust accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
So I make sure you're there on time. So I know you that way, and that's cool. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
if somebody's bad with money, and money's a touchy situation because a lot of people know they're bad with money, but don't want nobody to tell them they're bad with money, especially their mate. They're like, well, don't I put enough money in for the bills? That's not the point. I know you're gonna waste money. I know, like I said, rainy day. I need to pull some extra money from you. So you may need to approach him differently rather than say, put all your money in that account.
Yeah.
Because if you say that, well, I'm a kid.
Yeah.
I need no money. Well, yeah, you are a
Sometimes
kid.
you can't even let some people know that you have a savings account.
No, because if you say I'm putting money in a savings account,
Yeah.
in his head, oh, we got some money sitting aside.
Yeah.
So if I do get this, how's it really gonna hurt me? Because I know my baby
Like I
got
know
some
I
money on
could
the
run
side.
through this because she got something on the side.
Yep.
No, he don't know. He just don't know. His name is on it, but he don't know.
No.
You know,
Don't need to know.
They got to build in a few little safety situations for us because, no, you don't want to be slipping out there financially.
No, you don't.
That's for certain, and neither does he.
No, if you know she go out there, if she goes by any designer store, she allowed to put something up on sale. No, excuse me, it was a clearance, it was a sale. Every week they got clearance in the sale. Well, they send me an email. Of course they're gonna send you an email because you go out there every week, you're gonna get a damn email. It's for something to go on sale, something, come today for this, that, for 20% off here and 40%. Baby, you got more than enough purses. Mm-hmm. Unless you're gonna sell some of them other 1,000 purses you got, come on now.
That's enough.
Yeah. Come on, enough's enough.
Yeah, you have to be willing to have those hard, uncomfortable conversations.
Oh God,
Bottom
yeah.
line.
You have to, and early.
Early rather than later. Right? Because
oh,
you've
God.
allowed something to fester. And at first it was just like when you first kind of noticed it.
Mm-hmm.
If you let it fester, you mad.
Yes, you are.
Why would you wait until you're super mad to approach something with someone that you quote unquote love?
You know why? Because some people will say, maybe she'll do better. Now, mind you, they didn't say nothing to you, but they said, well, maybe she'll notice what she's doing. And maybe, she'll make that change. It's like as a crackhead, maybe he or she is
Oh,
smoking
give
enough
him
crack.
the room to self-correct.
Yeah, maybe they realize they're going in
Nah,
there.
I'm your helpmate. Nah, I'm helping. I'm helping. I'm helping.
Yeah,
That's
you would
I.
think so.
Yeah.
You have to.
Because I was told to. I was told to. That's my job. That's my role. Is to
Yes.
help.
Yes.
So you think that you just gonna la-di-da off? No. I'm mentioning it to you. I'm not going to come at you like you're a child,
no.
but I'm gonna raise it to your attention. I can't correct it for you.
No.
I'll bring it to your attention.
And you said something a good point. Children, do not treat your mates as kids.
Now that's one that's hard because I'm gonna assume the woman doesn't want to treat her man like a kid. I don't think it happens overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the one thing that we have to be honest with, right? It's like a woman who's nagging. I don't think she started nagging overnight. These are progressive actions and behaviors that it just has to be. I just assume is occurring.
I thought so too.
You wouldn't walk up to a young lady or start to speak intimately with the young lady that you knew from school or you knew from work or you knew from anywhere, and you felt like she spoke to you like you was her son.
True.
Right?
They're very true.
You wouldn't take her out. You wouldn't wine and dine her. You wouldn't lay down. You wouldn't cuddle up with her. You wouldn't be on no Netflix and chill. Nothing.
No.
With the woman who belittles you and makes you feel like a child when something hits the fan.
Yes, I would think that. Damn, because if that's the case, what sense of self do you have?
Mm-hmm. But also, what sense of self about the woman? Because the woman wouldn't sign up in the beginning for a man who she felt like she had to speak to him like he was a child.
Learn behavior.
Learn behavior. Oh,
Learn
sure. We're
behavior.
being told that
If this
some
is how
women.
she's raised, she's looking for that same type of person to be her mate that she can control.
Oh, that's a super broken. That's
Oh, yes, that's
a
shattered.
woman who's intentionally looking for a beta male. What I'm
Oh,
referencing is in most situations though, that thing broke down. That's a respect that had been broken down.
Yes, definitely, without question.
Yeah.
Had to be. I mean, there's no. If you're a woman who basically you're trying to say, I'm going to make the man I want. I'm basically I got a starter kit. So I'm just going to add to this man and make him what I want him to be. So really, you don't want a mate. You want somebody that you can make and show the world, I took this clay and I made this masterpiece from this clay. You don't even care what the dude was. Just kind of like if you allow
As long
me to
as you
mold
had a man
well, it ain't a man. That's a level one.
ish, a man thing.
Yeah, man
Male.
thing. Because a real man wouldn't allow that to happen. First, they look at her crazy. Are you trying to make me over to something? And if she start to, okay, let me tell you. You're not going to tell me what to do. I know what I need to do. I know I need to handle my business, and I know who I am.
Right.
So if you do not accept what you see, then we shouldn't be together. Because I'm not going to accept it. Because you start telling me how to do me, I might have a problem. Just like you would have a problem if I tell you what you need to do you. Because then you'd be like, oh, you ain't my kid. I ain't your kid. We're going to have a problem there. But if a level one guy allow that to happen, then you're surprised. I can't believe he's level one. I thought he was level three. No, lady. You knew he was level one. And again, then a lot of women make the mistake where they take a level one dude and they spend all the time and effort and everything to build him to maybe level two, beginning level two, and then he leaves.
That was where I was going with that.
Well, he should leave.
But
No, he leaves her.
He leaves her.
He's supposed to leave her.
But she don't expect that because
Exactly.
she's like, I'm building him for me, not for nobody else.
No, because what ends up happening is that he leveled up by himself. See, the job again is for both of us to engage in a journey alongside of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, when you're pouring your everything into a man in order to help him to level up, you've put yourself on pause.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not leveling up alongside of him. So now he has. Why would any players on level 2 want to play with any players on level 1? It doesn't make sense. So the problem is the fact that you thought that you was going to pour your everything into him and thought that you was going to allow him to get up on your shoulders and get you there? Can you get it? You try to get him to level 2, right? And you down on level 1 and you thought he was supposed to like throw down the rope
And pull you
and to
with him.
help pull you. That because again we grow alongside of each other. We show up equally yoked, right? Equally yoked, bringing 100% to the table, not 50-50, 100-100.
Yep.
Right? And then we go through the life journey together, both trying to progress, both trying to bring our best self to the table, right? Because why would a man who's out here doing big things, doing great things, overcoming things, making sacrifices, becoming more and more disciplined, want to be involved with someone who lacks discipline? Because again, you sent him through school, you sent him through job career training, right? You made sure he attained the skills along the way. Did you attain those skills along the way? No. So now when he goes to present in front of a certain group of people, he looks polished.
Yes,
He
does.
presents very well.
Yep.
When you go to present in front of those same group of people, you don't look polished. You
No.
don't look well.
Nope.
Y'all are on two different playing fields.
Yes.
How long can he keep you and present you to his new group, his new level of people?
That's very true. And you've done all that to get him there, and
Yeah.
you think, oh, he's going to pull me in with him. No. Or better yet, he looks at number 2. He said, oh, she's a whole new world. He's never seen me before. So
And
now,
it is.
He don't turn around.
no, because he's like, I ain't going back to that. I'm here now. No.
It's the very idea of, if you could do this for me, why didn't you do this for you?
Because
He didn't have to turn around.
no, because you, as the woman, you wanted a particular guy. You wanted to control the guy.
Oh, you wanted control
Control.
with it.
Yes.
With this type of guy.
Yes, you wanna
Which
control
does
him.
speak to your issue, right? You don't want to level up. And technically you don't even want a level 2 type of man. You just want a man who you can control.
At your level, which could be a level 1. Because
At any level.
You want a guy.
At
You want a
any
guy
level.
who's like. You want the assets and resources of a guy who makes his own decisions, but you want to make the decisions for him.
There you go. That's exactly what you want. And you're going to think that's going to work out for you? It's all millions of women who thought that way in the past and currently and in the future that's going to learn the hard lesson. Because when you start to do all that and want to control him, he gets out there, it's like a dog. You keep him locked in the back and he just run around the back. And then one day he see that split in the fence. He's like, Pew. He threw that because he's tired of running around in the yard because you control everything. Now in the neighborhood, he's like, oh, man, they got
It's like
fences.
this out here.
What? I ain't coming back. So now you're surprised that where the dog at? Dog gone.
Doggone.
And now you mad. I done spent all my good time trying to mold him, control him, make him what I want him to be. Now some other bitch done took him and made him, and now he done married her, made her right. Now you just gruntled. Now you're mad. Then you teed off. Now you threw him in. He's another one you threw in the bag. So you can go around and tell everybody, all the guys you'd have made who done let you down and made you feel bad.
Because you didn't do this. Not your first time doing it.
Oh, no. I told you it's a bag. It's a bag of dudes you did that too. But every time you think, no, this guy's different. No, it's not this different. You're broken and maybe shattered.
And you keep doing the same thing
And-
over and over
And
over again.
and over again. And if you find a guy who's weak enough to say, I'm going to marry you, even though he may not even like you. But he going to go for the flow because he knows she going to pay for this. She going to keep these clothes on me.
She constantly attracts the opportunistic man,
Yes.
right? Most of the men are going to get their come up via this woman who's allowing this.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt. Yes.
And you technically have no reason to allow it. You're allowing it because somebody is spending some time. There's probably not even an appropriate amount of time.
Nope.
And some bit of attention on you.
Some.
It's probably not even an appropriate amount of attention on you.
No.
And you give them so much. You pour so much into someone who pours nothing into you. A man who has nothing to pour
Zero.
is a foolish man. What they say, broke guys don't deserve no. Yeah, I know that's right. It's actually the foolish man who doesn't deserve any.
No.
Because what he gonna give you in return?
You may end up with an STD.
I mean, and that puts you in the negative.
Yes, it will. But the thing is, you know this. So
You know this.
My thing is, are women that desperate to say, I got somebody that I'm willing to grab anything off the street just to say that I have it?
I
Grab
don't.
anything off the street. I just think people grab what's closest to them.
No, I think that you start off with a facade. I think even the poorest, broke down man is going to present himself a certain type of way in the beginning.
Oh, he
right?
has to.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you're desperate, but you were lied to a little bit in the beginning, and you knew better, but you needed that lie first. So there's absolutely, I believe a great bit of deceit going on.
Dating is. We've had this conversation.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's more than just the woman's desperation. It's also the deceit that goes on in the game. It's like, oh, shoot, technically he could be a catch. So I'm going to call him tonight. Because he could be the one.
Yep.
He could be the
Yep.
one. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, and it's kind of like but the disconnect I have is we start off with that game, the deceit and the lying and everything else along with it. But how do you go from dating a guy like that to actually marrying a guy like that? I mean, do you know how far you got to go from saying that he's possibly a catch, he possibly is this, but you know he's broken on when you along the way between dating
And
and
you
marriage.
did too much. You gave up too much. That's what people. No, you're not stuck. You think you're stuck.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You think you're stuck.
You done stuck yourself. Like, what are you doing? Because y'all been. First, it's always the time, right? People love to talk
yep.
about how
I've been for 5
we've been together for 5. We've been together for 12 years. Y'all been miserable for 11.
That's
Talk
true.
to me about being together for 12 years and you've been miserable for 11. We've been together for 20 years. Y'all been not seeing eye to eye for 15.
But T, think about this. You're saying I've been with him for 10, 15 years. So from 1 to 14, not one time during that time did y'all plan on getting married?
Oh, no, y'all did plan on getting married at some point and always talked about it. Somebody flaked.
Yeah.
When we went to go look at the stuff, it cost too much. Somebody
financially
cheated.
in that position
Yeah.
Oh.
We tried to buy a house instead of getting, we're going to have all these reasons why it just didn't go down, but ultimately it never quite makes sense. But yeah, you have time is the number one reason why people claim that they're going to stay together. Then it's today's people, it's going to be the living situation, right? Because you can't necessarily afford to move out right now. So we can't afford to break up.
That's true. I can't afford because I can't live on my
Just
own.
keeping it 100. You see married couples even in those situations. So it definitely even affects those who are just dating because you gave so much of yourself. You moved in with somebody who you weren't married to. You gave too much of yourself without getting enough back.
You should know you're going to lose every time. The one thing about women, women definitely suffers ultimately from that decision because you're giving them good years, good GPYs. We had that discussion.
Yes.
And in the end, you're older. You've given up all this stuff to him. And then he says after 15 years, I don't think it's going to work
By
out.
the same token, you're also screwed. Because you're screwed. Because all right, if you're from 21,
girl.
because you get together at 21, right? Boom, y'all now not seeing eye to eye. Y'all thinking about breaking up. You 40. You're 40 now. I guarantee you, if you've been together from 21 to 40, y'all have at least a kid.
Oh, we got
At least
Guarantee.
one
Y'all
child.
would have been split up.
Yep.
If there was no kid involved, y'all would have been split up.
Because there was no kid involved, you'd have been
I'm
gone.
just saying.
Yep, there you go.
There's something that had kept you there for 19 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, there's no way.
Yeah, there's no way that you would have stayed there. But now, like you said, from 21 to 40, now that's your prime years.
Yeah.
All your years.
He said you're dead now. Come on, McKinney.
The producer said that's all your good years. So now, really, to be honest, as 40, as a male, as a man, we still good.
You still good.
We, in
Yeah.
fact, we good until we good until we die, and that could be in our 60s and 70s. We still good.
So
We
y'all
still.
at the top of the barrel, where I done dwindled way down
Oh,
here.
you dwindled.
With the kid, 40
Yep,
years.
Yep.
A few little crow's feet.
Yep.
That's not right, man. Damn.
You're gonna want to say, "Let me go out into the dating market," and now you don't know how to.
Yeah,
because
you've been on the shelf.
You've been on the shelf.
Wait, and not any
Shelf. This is the other problem, right? You've not been on any shelf. See, most of these guys, they want to play on the middle shelf, a little below rack. Bitch, on top shelf.
Yes, you've been right here.
And now you done all of a sudden dwindled to bottom of the barrel. You don't even know how to operate here. You don't even know how to operate in this
Nope.
capacity at all.
And you know what's happened to you now? You was Louis the 13th on the top.
Yep.
He's been sipping and sipping and sipping
Yep.
for 19 years.
Yep.
Now you're empty.
Yep.
So now he ain't gonna spend another $8,000 to put you back up top.
He can't put you back on
No,
top.
he can't
Because
afford it.
guess what happens? If you're about top shelf liquor, when I enter you, you're gone.
Yep.
That's just it.
That's it.
You can't. If you put another Louis the 13th up there, it's not going to be the same exact bottle that you had 21 years ago.
No.
It's not even going to be the same bottle that you had up there for 19 years.
Nope.
It's going to have to be a brand new bottle.
And if I keep that bottle that I had up there for 20 some years, I'm not putting Louis the 13th. I'm putting regular liquor in there. It's gonna look like it's
He
Louis the
refilled
13th,
it.
but now I'm just going. And you know what? I'm gonna put it up there, but it's not.
You might be up there empty.
Yep. Or you could be just like, oh, you know, I'm gonna stick it up there. But
just
now
there.
you're now Louis the 13th empty. And they say, I'm worth something. And you are. No woman is not worth anything. You are worth something. But you have spent your time.
You're on the clearance rack.
Oh, yep. You're on the clearance rack. So
Just
now,
saying, right?
yes, because now you got a kid. If he died, you couldn't even get benefits for him, any nothing from him, because you never got married. You ain't got no life insurance with him. The kid would get something because, again, that's his kid.
Yeah,
but
trickle
you,
naturally, but you, yeah, no.
nothing. And now you're then trying to get out in the field, 40 years old, little crow's feet, and now got a kid. And you know what? You're not the hot chick anymore. You're a MILF.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky to be a
If
MILF.
you're lucky.
Yeah.
And if you let you,
keep your body.
if you didn't keep yourself tight, that's the other thing. You get comfortable, and things happen. Like, oh, you know what? He wants me. He loved me all my roles and stuff. And there's guys that love women that way.
Yeah.
But you get out in the dating world, it's a different world.
It's competition.
Big
And it's
competition.
fierce. And
Yes.
what we say?
Yes.
They doing it for things. So the competition, oh baby, no, I'm trying to get my rent paid.
There
Nah,
you go.
She done came all the way correct.
And they getting that BBL, they in the gym, they doing all that stuff, and they're 40. But you 40 with a kid, and you settled because you thought this guy's going to do right.
Yep.
He's got to do right by me. He gave me a kid. We've been together for 19 years. He's got to do right by me. Until he realized that I'm 40 years old and I can do better.
Yep.
And since you didn't commit to me, then I used all your milk up, most of your milk up, and now I'm going to move on. And now you're going to keep that anger, that hate in your heart because he
That's
did
really
you wrong.
going aging.
And that's not it. You did yourself wrong.
Yeah.
You allowed yourself
Yeah.
to be
You missed the requirement.
all of it.
Yeah, you told him that you required this of him, but you didn't hold him accountable when he didn't deliver, which I think for a lot of women, we don't know what to do sometimes when we make a requirement, you miss the requirement, we in too deep. Now what do?
You have to
What's
cut your
the
losses.
next step?
To me, again, you have to cut your losses because you know what's going to happen.
But I love him. I love
Yeah,
him.
but obviously he don't love you. He don't love you that much. He didn't love you enough to just go ahead and say. He used all excuses. I ain't got enough money for the ring.
Yeah,
we
or you ain't
enough
got enough money for my birthday, or you don't got enough money for my anniversary, or you don't got enough money for, the day that we made up together.
Oh, you forgot.
Or you
Yeah,
forgot?
Yes, and see
How many times you done forgot our special date? It's not
How many
special no
times?
more.
no, it's not special to him anymore.
Uh-uh.
He doesn't care because all I gotta do is tell you enough to keep you quiet.
Yep.
And if you don't have enough intestinal fortitude to say, "Hey, I'm done," and do it early, not 40. Don't wait till you're 40. You do that like, okay, we've been together for 5 years, and we look like we just playing house. I don't want to play house. I want to get married within a year, and that I don't care about no huge marriage. We can go to the justice of the peace, pick any date, walk in there, and just get married. You can give me a bubblegum ring for all I care because it's all symbol anyway. But to make me comfortable and to make me know that I'm part of your unit, then we need to do this. And if he's fighting you on, well, I don't really know you. What you talking about? You don't know me. You've been with me for 5 years. We're in the same house together. We pay bills. You sleep in the same bed. You know how I look in the morning. I know how you look in the morning. What more you need to know?
Yeah.
And if he's got cold feet, he ain't ever going to marry you. He's going to make an excuse not to marry you.
Ooh.
Never going to marry you.
If he's got cold feet, he'll never do it.
Never do it. Because let me tell you, for us, we know, probably not when it first, because in first, like I said, it's the whole you look good kind of thing. As I get to know you, you all either fall into, it's a good ride, I'm going to ride it, but I ain't going to marry it, to, I think I like her. She has great qualities. She could be a good mother, somebody who got my back, and then you start playing accordingly. But you dictate that because if you allow him to just kind of like, oh, I can do anything. Now he's like, okay, well, why am I going to put that much effort in it? But if you don't say, hey, I'm not in here just to play. I'm in here to do some things, and I feel that we're here. Now, you can say, hey, I feel we're heading here. Now, if I'm wrong, let me know. Then that way I can just rev back my emotions and start to look somewhere else. Because I'm going to have to do that. You have to rev it back anyway if he's not the guy. But you don't keep investing all your time and your money and everything into that and expect it to be.
The guy what his intentions are, though?
I would think at some point you wouldn't keep sitting there.
I mean, I think, okay, ask him, but then, like, if somebody's showing you something, you better believe that. Because a man's not going to tell you his ill intentions with you. Like, what man is going to say, I'm just riding this wave until the wheels fall off.
No, they're not.
We just doing what we doing. And, if you get tired of me, then, deuces, okay, I'm all right. What man's going to say that straight up?
He's not. And, again, the moment you start playing house is the moment you set yourself up for failure. Because when you move into his house or you move in together, because ultimately what are you doing? You know on Judge Judy, 50 years she's been on TV, how many times she said, I hate for people to come in here and want to separate things when you didn't go to the justice of the peace or have a marriage, get married.
Judge Judy better do her damn job and separate that TV from that Xbox, that couch, and that bed and stop playing. You know them people ain't getting married.
And
that's why they ain't on Judge Lentola's show.
See,
they went to Judge Judy. They ain't on divorce court.
Nope.
Yeah,
because they were playing.
They've been playing
house. You playing house, and now she said, "Now I have to separate you like you've been married." But I bought the TV. I bought this. She said, "If you got married, it'd be a divorce court, and you'd be able to settle all that." But now y'all want to
y'all in small claims court now,
fighting for. I want the TV. I bought the TV. I use my tax money to buy the TV.
It's all tax.
It's always tax money or some extra money I got to buy the TV. And again, it's like, and then she's like, "I'm hurt because now that's his new girlfriend beside." Well, how long y'all been together? I've been with him for 2 years. How long you been with her? 20. She said, "You're a fool. He didn't marry her in 20. Why do you think she's going to? I'm different." You know, you're not. You're just a new victim.
Somebody else to ride out the wave with, apparently.
Yes.
This guy's just riding waves.
And you allow him to ride your wave. You allowed him to use all your resources. Because you basically just open up the box and just say, "Here you go, take what you want." And you don't have to pay for it. And then in the end, he said, "Oh, you got very little left in your cabinet, so I don't want your cabinet no more. I'm going to go find me another cabinet that's fully stocked."
Because men like women who's fully stocked with stuff to give.
And that goes back to now you were this dude for X number of years, and now you get in the dating scene. You go out there and you say, hey, I'm 40, I only got one kid, and you open up your drawer and you're like,
There's nothing
damn,
left.
ain't nothing there. So now he's like, no, and we know that means you were with somebody or somebody's for a period of time, and then you're out here exposed.
Yeah.
You get all your goodies,
Yeah.
all your stuff, all your good stuff, all your tangibles, and now you're like, here, it's like, want me for me. Women can't make men feel bad because you made bad decisions, bad choices, and now you expect me to just say, look at what I got left. Look at what's left. Please love me for who I am and what I got left and accept me. And all my guys are, no. Do you know this probably somebody 40 years old that's well stocked because they may not have no kids. They may not even been in relationships, but you're just 40 years old and things didn't work out. I want her. But unless, I want kids, then I know I got to get somebody who's probably not 40 because you get a little dangerous when you want to have a kid, depending on the guy's situation.
Yeah. Now you can move because they're a man. You can move around the age range.
We can
right?
go back and forth. And again, when you're top level 3 men are usually taken. Mm-hmm. Level 3 are gone.
Because if they're playing in level 3 round, they're probably not actually level 3 men anymore because they're gone.
They're gone. Mm-hmm. Level 3 men are basically maintaining, making sure that they're good, making sure that their unit is good, and everybody around them is good. Because level 3 support level 3 because we know the work it took to get here. Mm-hmm. So we're taking. Mm-hmm. You're dealing with level 2 and level 1 men now. Level 3, pretty much, unless somebody died or something, then you may have an opening because one of the spouses died. Then you can say, I can go. But he's level 3.
Yeah.
And he ain't going for nothing less than. So, and since we talk about the marriages and all that stuff, my biggest key to everybody from my 26 years of marriage is you have to understand that you're always going to have good days and bad days. But you have to talk about it. You have to talk about it. You can't let it just fester. And you can't let one particular argument carry over to the next day because that one argument is that one seed of doubt starts to rear its ugly head and you end up in a situation that could have been avoided if you just had a conversation.
Absolutely.
So, that's what I tell people. Just talk about it and really get out still this lingering one. It's just crazy.
I think my bit of advice would be stay consistent with what you do, no matter what your feelings are.
Yes.
You can be angry, sad, however you're feeling. Do what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. If you cook for that man and he done pissed you off, made you upset, still cook.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Whatever it is that you do on a normal day, don't let anger or something that he's done or she's done stop you from still serving in that marriage, right?
Exactly.
You can't get mad at her and then I'm going to pay the bill late. No, you normally pay your bills on time. So continue, because whatever's happened right now that has moved us emotionally is so temporary.
Yes.
But the way that we pour into each other, that's going to always be, that should always be the same. I'm the hairstylist. I'm not going to be mad at my spouse and then I'm not doing your hair. No, please, come on. I'm going to put my attitude on pause, tend to your little scalp. It might hurt a little bit more, but I'm going to take care of you. Just because, when your mood shifts just a little bit. Yeah. But ultimately, don't stop cooking. Don't stop having sex. Don't stop ironing each other's clothes. Don't stop taking out each other's food for lunch type of thing just because you're mad or angry or uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Stay consistent.
You know what? And that is perfect. I mean, if you learn nothing else, people, listen to what we said. Those two things. And with that, we're going to end today's session. I find it as a session. It seems like it's just like we just putting stuff out there for everybody. But this is all important things. And like I said, just be consistent and make sure that you take care of each other. With that, that's the end of today's session of On the Mic with the M.
Auntie.
And you can reach me on Over to Become on IG. T, how do they reach you?
At Trust_City on Instagram.
Cool. Hit that like and subscribe to the channel. Holler at y'all peeps later.